someone that comes to mind, you know, thinking about this was, he researched people that he knew up to 1901, and, you know, there's probably been many people since that time that have experienced a cosmic consciousness. And somebody that offhand that I believe has had one based on his music that he's written is the musician John Denver.
The late John Denver.
Late John Denver, yes. And going back and listening to some of his music, especially the song Rocky Mountain High, and you really see how John may have been through a similar mindset. And you know, some of the words he says to that song, he was born in the summer of his 27th year, could have been the year of his awakening.
True.
He came home to a place he's never been before, you know, he might suddenly see the universe differently. He left yesterday behind him, he might say he was born again. You might say he holds the key to every door. So it's kind of that whole lifting the veil, awakening going on. And you know, that's just one of the songs. If you go back and listen to some of his older music, it's amazing at the messages.
Well,
that
we do hold the key to every door within us. It's just a matter of how much drive, persistence, tenacity do you have to open those doors as they come before you.
And that's part of the process of learning to manifest with the Creator Source.
Right.
Versus waiting for the Creator Source to give you what you ask for.
As the commercials say, I'm waiting for the credit fairy. The credit fairy don't come.
For most people, it's just happening spontaneously. They don't really need to.
Yeah, sometimes they're unaware it actually occurred to them.
They might be at the time, yeah, and it might take a while for it to sink in, or they might read something or see this TV show or something like that that says, wow, that happened to me. You mean that's kind of what I was going through? And,
yeah.
And you might suddenly become interested in learning more about it. So hopefully that's, you know, as knowledge increases, more people will become aware of some of these changes that are taking place.
So what does cosmic consciousness mean for the 21st century?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about it. A lot of people have different theories. There's still a lot of gurus out there that are
self-proclaimed gurus.
Are coming up with theories, and one of them is, you know, that it means that we'll have consciousness beyond our ego. And
well, isn't that what we've been talking about?
Right. It's the whole cosmic consciousness experience. That's an end result of it. So as we look to our future, we can look at a race of humans maybe where the ego is not in control, as more people follow the movement and develop a cosmic consciousness.
And also, as we develop that cosmic consciousness, there would be no need for salvation because we already have it.
If you lose that sense of sin, to discuss that, because I know that's a big issue for a lot of people. They rely on the salvation for their faith. I just wanted to read what Mr. Bucke actually said about that. He says, at the same instant, he's bathed in emotion of joy and assurance and triumph. And he says he also feels a sense of salvation. But he says, the last word, the word salvation, is not strictly correct if it's taken in the ordinary sense. For the feeling, when fully developed, is not that a particular act of salvation is affected, but that no special salvation is needed, the scheme upon which the world is built being itself sufficient. So he's saying that salvation is going to be seen in a different light when that occurs. And you know, that's a change that can occur in the 21st century, because right now we use salvation to get people to believe in a certain way. And you might see some changes there, as we discussed earlier. So, you know, what's going to happen when many children today are born with a sense of cosmic consciousness, and that tends to get filtered out of their life as they're put into, you know, society's rules, and you're told, you know, you can't believe that way or you can't do that, and what will happen to the human race if children are allowed to be raised with a sense of cosmic consciousness? When families start practicing a cosmic consciousness, you're going to see it will literally create a different race of people if they're operating beyond the ego. They're operating from love and compassion
Right. You're speaking different race of people. You're speaking in a mental state.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that pretty much wraps up this episode of
Cosmic Consciousness.
Yeah.
I thank you for watching Soul to Soul. It's been a pleasure and speaking and sharing our information with you. If you care to look at our archives, they are available on soultosoultv.com 24/7. Blessings.